It's the Venusian Musings Creep Show.
Creep Show.
Creep Show.
Hello, and welcome to the Venusian Musing Podcast. This podcast is about navigating through life with spirituality and magical tools while enjoying life's pleasures. We are your hosts, Day, Pika, and Ari. If you are listening to our last episode, we said it would be about Randonautica. But life happened, so that will be our episode next week. But instead, since it is October, we're going to talk about creepy and or spooky stuff that has happened in our lives. But first, Ari with the astro weather.
Astrology.
I love that. Astrology. All right. Let's sip the tea. So this is what's happening with the planets today.
Okay, Miss Sassy Face.
Or just for the whole week.
Tea in the planets tonight.
Right?
There is tea
There
in
should
the
be.
planets.
There's tea in the planets tonight.
Hey everyone, it's Ari. So, the astro portion of this episode is actually pretty long. It's about 10 minutes long. So if you would like to go ahead and skip ahead, you're more than welcome to.
So there's been some difficult transits going on, but what I would like to call this week is I feel like this is just the calm before the storm.
Da-da-da.
Pluto actually stationed direct, which is pretty significant because Pluto, along with the shitstorm of other planets that it's been traveling with, which is Saturn and who else? Oh yeah, Pluto, Jupiter, and Saturn. So they were all traveling together, like holding hands for a really long time.
Were they
Capricorn?
Frolicking?
Huh?
Were they frolicking?
They weren't
the
frolicking. They were like stomping through.
Oh, they were like the mean girls of the
They're combat
Yes!
bits.
Yeah.
Yes, actually, Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto were like mean girling it through Capricorn. They meant business.
Yeah, happy late Mean Girls Day.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
They meant business, and they were going. They
Pluto
were
was
doing
Regina
it
George,
for
basically.
quite some time.
Pluto is Regina George, basically.
Pluto or Saturn? I'm not sure. Who's more Regina George, Pluto or Saturn?
Does that mean Jupiter was like Karen?
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Jupiter was Karen for sure. I think, you know, that's a really good question. Because Saturn's the big daddy.
Right. Yeah.
Capricorn is Saturn's domain. So I feel like maybe Regina George was Saturn. Definitely,
Yeah,
for sure.
that makes sense.
But
Saturn is the big daddy.
Saturn is the big daddy.
Yeah.
But Pluto, on the other hand,
So she was the Gretchen Wieners. She had all the secrets. She had all the tea.
actually,
That's
now
why
that I
its
think
rings
about
are
it,
so big.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right, because Pluto is a planet of transformation.
Yeah, I was explaining that to someone about Pluto's return. It is
And what Pluto does is change things.
secrets. Yes, it does.
Pluto's been killing it with me because I have a Capricorn stellium. So Pluto right now is at 22 degrees, and he's been hand-holding my Venus for a very long time, for at least over a year.
Wow.
Well, okay, so there was a shitstorm going on because they were all retrograde for a while. So they were taking their sweet time through Capricorn. Saturn actually just went direct recently. I believe it was sometime in September when Saturn went direct. Which is great for everyone that was having their Saturn's return in Capricorn, because now you guys are finally heading, well, us,
Yeah.
because we're still dealing with it.
Yeah.
It's finally coming to a close, and now those of you with Saturn in Aquarius will start feeling your Saturn's return. Yay! Excites! So excites for you guys. We do have a few, we have a couple of challenging aspects that's obviously been going along, which is, Mars was squaring Saturn, and it's still a thing. And of course, because Pluto is sitting right there as well, Mars and Pluto have also been squaring as well. So there's tension there with the...
They're ready to fight.
Yeah. So yes, Mars is in Aries, and Pluto is in Capricorn right now. If you follow mythology, Mars is basically the god of war, Aries.
Hey, representing.
And Pluto is basically Hades.
Yeah.
So right now, there's a square going between the two of them this week. So just imagine Mars and Pluto just getting into it.
Yeah.
Well, not really getting into it. They're more like
standoffish.
Yeah, they're having a disagreement. They're not really on the same page right now.
Hot.
But they can still...
You ship that? You shipping the gods?
They can still work it out.
Yeah, they can. They just gotta bang it out.
So we have that. And then we also have Mercury and Uranus opposing each other as well. Whereas Mars and Pluto are just kind of like disagreeing on shit, Mercury and Uranus is just like, hell no.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. So they're actually going at it.
They're actually going at it. And this is gonna last for the next few days. So Mercury and Uranus will be opposing each other for the next few days. But we're just feeling the energy the strongest this week. Mercury, I believe, right now is in Scorpio. And it'll be in Scorpio up until towards the end, the middle of the month, of course, because it's going to go retrograde, so we'll be preparing for that. All the tea will be popping out. Like, it's not just, hey, I got some tea for you. It's, oh shit, some tea just happened, and I gotta give it to you. Because Uranus is also the planet of changes and surprises. So those are the two aspects that are a little bit more, that brings a little bit more tension. But we do have other aspects that kind of helps kind of ease things up a little bit. So
I feel like it's getting easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not as bad as it was at the beginning of the retrograde for me.
It's not as bad. It's just kind of like, okay, we've been dealing with
this
for a little bit.
Yeah.
So we're kind of used to it. So let's just like...
Just keep rolling with it.
Yeah, let's just keep rolling with it, basically. That's what it is.
That's exactly how I feel with my retrograde
One
right
of
now.
the decent ones would be Jupiter's sextile Neptune.
Jupiter sexting?
Jupiter sexting Neptune. When they saw the notes, he saw that, and that's what it's become a thing now.
Yeah.
He thought it said sexting.
It's
so.
no longer sextile, it's now sexting.
Yes.
Jupiter's being sneaky.
Jupiter's being what Jupiter usually does.
Yeah, Jupiter's doing what Jupiter does.
Jupiter's doing what Jupiter does.
Yeah, exactly.
And of course, Neptune is sneaky as well, so it makes a lot of sense. A sextile is more of an easier energy. It's kind of like a trine, except it's like subtle.
Yeah.
The way I interpret it, I feel like it's more like people are going to be more exploring more of their creative side. I feel like during this time, it's going to give people the kind of energy that kind of tries to direct their focus on something else because of all the shit that's been going on.
Like making a podcast.
Yeah,
Or starting a strawberry company, Pika. Kawaii Sweet Centuries. Follow Pika.
On Instagram, because it's only on Instagram right now.
That's the way I interpret Jupiter sextile Neptune. I feel like people are just taking this time to kind of just focus their energy on stuff that's gonna just kind of distract them from what's been going on. And then we have Sun squaring Uranus. That's gonna be another aspect that we're dealing with. That probably won't come into play until the end of the week, actually. So we don't have to worry too much about that. Sun square Jupiter, again, it's basically just the Sun is in Libra right now, and Jupiter is in Capricorn. So right now, because we are in Libra season, a lot of the planets that we'll be experiencing going through Libra is going to be challenging, like, whatever planets we have in Capricorn right now. That's basically what it is. And, of course, with Mars and Aries. So there's just a lot of tension right now. there's a lot of tension because the majority of the planets are in cardinal signs. Cardinal signs, that's going to be Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn. So right now we're dealing with Aries, Libra, Capricorn planets at the moment. The Mean Girls grouping, Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter, yeah, they're making shit rough for you guys right now.
Yeah.
They are...
I'm in their burn book right now.
Yes, Days in the burn book right now. A better transit is going to be Venus trining Uranus. Well, it's not so much better. It's not terrible, but it's not amazing either. Venus-Uranus energy is kind of like... It's like the epitome of star-crossed.
Funny thing, I told someone that they're star-crossed lovers. I gave them a reading, an astro reading, a long time ago. Mm-hmm. And they thought I meant, when I said star-crossed, they thought, oh, Romeo and Juliet. I was like, yeah, Romeo and Juliet. Yeah. The entire story. Yeah, have you read it? Yeah, star-crossed. Yeah. Like, yeah, you're meant to be to a point, but then at the end of the story, you're going to end up...
Exactly. And then you're just going to both be dead.
That's been the manifestation of my Venus-Uranus synastry that I have.
That's a fun aspect.
It's fun because you fall in love with this person because there's this magnetic energy, magnetic charge between the two of you when you meet. But
then you're both going to end up poisoned and dead.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, when you should have went for Mercutio.
Anyways, okay.
A curse on both your houses.
So, but it manifests in so many different ways too. That's just one example. That's just my personal example. But it's not a tragic placement, and I want to say it's not a tragic transit either. Usually, Uranus also represents out of the ordinary. So, yeah, that was the astro weather. So let's just get on.
Let's get spoopy.
Let's get spooky.
Let's get spooky.
It's spooky time. Spooky music. So who's going to tell a spooky story first?
I'll start. So, I have one short one, and I'll go back into my longer one later. After other people have a turn.
Okay.
But, mine starts off with, like, when I was a kid, I think I had, like, a sleepover with my cousins or something, and it had to have been, like, my cousins, because we were all sharing a bed, and we were just, it was a normal day, nothing weird happened during the day, like, we were, like, having fun. I think it was, like, maybe, like, 6 or 7, between 6 or 8, I remember that, like, that was definitely the time frame.
In the morning or afternoon?
My age. I was like 6 or 7 or 8 years old. But we were going to bed. Like, it was like a normal day. We had fun, whatever. Like, laying down to go to bed, go to sleep.
Uh-huh.
And I sleep pretty hard. Like, I still sleep like this. I sleep like a rock. I've slept through earthquakes, literally. As a
it's
kid.
literally super hard to wake him up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've tried.
And usually start hitting people if they try. I am all about my sleep.
He almost punched me in the face.
But
I also had really short hair, so he thought I was a random boy sleeping in his bed.
Don't wake up a sleeping day.
Don't wake up sleeping. I turned into like a bear, literally. So anyway, I'm about to go to sleep, and I'm like drifting in between my dead sleep and my wake self. But
those are fun.
Yeah, it was really fun. So the spooky part about this is that when I was going to sleep, I was on the edge of the bed, and like my cousins, like it was like me at the edge. I think my sister or like my cousin was at the foot, and then my sister, and then another cousin. Like we were little enough to fit 4 of us.
You're literally all fitting in one bed. Okay.
Yeah, that's how little we were.
Yeah.
But I remember this so vividly. It was probably one of my first memories, actually. So I feel on my leg, the leg that's like on the outermost reach of the bed, like on the corner, like at the edge. I feel like the grip of an adult hand.
Oh no!
But it's ice cold.
Ooh.
Reach my leg, my little tiny ankle, and I literally get up and start screaming bloody murder. like I said, it's hard to wake me up.
Yeah.
And I will never forget, everyone woke up, of course, because I was screaming bloody murder. But my mom was like, what happened? I told her what happened. And she's like, of course, Scorpio mom was like, on the case. She was like,
Scorpio mothers.
Scorpio moms on the case. But she was like, what happened? Who was it? And what did you feel? And so I told her everything. I was like, this is how I felt. And I was like, I felt, a man's hand. I said a man's hand. I remember saying a man because it was it was gruff, but it was ice cold.
Yeah.
And literally,
I got chills.
Yeah. Literally the next day we blessed the house. My mom was like really into that. So, that's one of my first memories is a spooky memory. So, yeah.
I'm piggybacking because I also talk about my first time seeing a ghost.
That's scary.
Yeah, it was not fun.
Which was around your age. I was like 8 or 9 at my mom's house. It was late at night from what I remember. My mom was in her room. All the lights in her house were off, which she lived in a 2-story house.
Yeah, I remember.
Very big windows. You could see outside. It's creepy at night. So I remember opening the door to get like a drink or something. I don't know what my 8-year-old self wanted late at night. But when I opened my door, I saw a white figure. It was a female, and she was floating towards the bedroom in the hall, which was my sister's room. Well, unofficial sister's room because she didn't live there, but it was her room.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I didn't see that figure, like, years. I still have not seen it.
What was she, like, wearing? Like,
it was like a long dress, kind of like a nightgown a little bit.
What?
Yeah. But years later, I was in high school. My grandma was staying in that room. She said she saw the same figure I saw.
Yeah.
She saw her floating in the hallway.
She saw her too. She was like, it was a woman. God. She had like wavy hair. She was wearing a white dress and floating. But she was in her room, not in the hallway.
That's so scary.
So the weird thing about hauntings, guys, is that when they're like super specific like that, they're more than likely true.
Yeah.
Like, why would you both see the same thing?
Yeah, and prior to that, I never told anyone in my family I saw that because I didn't want them to think I was crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially with your background, you're saying.
Yeah.
Do you think they would believe you if you did?
I know for sure my sister was because she's now more open about it.
Did you and your grandma have a talk about that?
No, I don't even know how the conversation came up. She just told me about it one day. I was like,
what did you say?
Yeah, what did she say?
That she saw a figure, and I just, okay, good talk, bye. Go to my room.
Like, we're not going to talk about this
anymore.
And
then, me being in high school, I probably wrote it in my diary, because that was the emo kid that I was back in the day.
Jeez.
Because I must have been, I want to say, like, sophomore year of high school or so. Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy. That's scary.
Ariane.
So,
hi.
So I feel like for a very long time I have not experienced things because I probably blocked that shit out.
That's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
And I actually had this conversation with Ricarda yesterday that
shout out to Ricarda.
Shout out to Ricarda.
I recently realized the other day that I probably have picked up blocking shit from a very young age. You know, when you deal with trauma and you kind of just block that shit out.
Yep.
That kind of blocking. So I feel like that's basically how I lived my life. Even though I did have my senses, like I did still have that sensitive intuition that I felt growing up. Things would come to me differently, though. I would experience things differently. So I didn't really experience any kind of like spooky stuff until later when I was like an adult, basically.
Right. Until you allowed yourself to be more open.
Yes. after I experienced more things, I was more open, then I was able to kind of open up more, especially when it came to my sensitivities.
Yeah.
Because growing up, I really only would have dreams or get visions or something, but I never really, like, encountered shit. And then as an adult, that's when I started, like, really encountering shit. So.
That's fair.
So I have one ghost story that happened when I was on a trip, a really random fun trip that I took with my friends at the time, my friend and my ex. We decided to go to San Francisco. That was his favorite place to go. My friend, that was his favorite place to go, so we would go there all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I was 19 at the time.
Okay.
So
You're still a baby.
I was
Yeah,
a baby.
that's still considered
I was
a baby.
Still experiencing the world. You know, I had just like moved out of my family's house, my parents' house, like unintentionally.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, you know, I was on my own and doing shit.
Y'all don't see this, but she was moving her
I know,
shoulders, being
she's
super
like-
sassy. She was like, I was a rebel.
I was a rebel because I had a very sheltered childhood. So
Tana's like, woman on the
Yeah.
go. I'm going places.
Yeah.
Exactly.
She was like, I could stay up as late as I want.
Chocolate for breakfast.
Cereal any time of day.
it's more like hookah every single night, movies every night, and
Denny's.
going to
Denny's, oh my God.
traveling to
those-
different cities just because you wanted to.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
days were... Yeah, I remember those days.
Mhm. I was glad I got to experience that. But anyways, so we went to San Francisco. And because this bitch was bougie as shit, he decided he wanted to stay at the Fairmont Hotel.
Oh,
Ooh,
no.
Okay, the Fairmont is so haunted.
Yes. Uh-huh.
It's not haunted,
Wait, did you
it's
guys
haunted.
know, or did you guys care?
Did you know?
Dad, did you know?
I kind of had an idea, but no, not really.
So you didn't know the full story.
I didn't know. I just knew that it was the oldest hotel in San Francisco. It was like one of the oldest hotels.
Wait, honey,
And
you
that-
said you were there when you were 19. Do you remember what year that was?
2009.
2009, yes.
Yeah.
That was 2009, fresh out of graduation.
Yeah. It's funny because, side note, when I went to San Francisco a few years ago with my ex, I actually suggested we stay at the Fairmont.
What is wrong with
It
you?
was so funny.
Which is not even called the Fairmont anymore. It's like some vacation thing.
Yeah, it's not called that anymore, but like that's what I knew it was called the Fairmont, but he was like, we can't go there because we're going with my mom. I was like, yeah, well, you know, you guys go to Stanley, like.
That shit was haunted as fuck.
I bet.
It was haunted AF. Okay, so the only history I knew about the Fairmont at the time, and this was at the time,
Right.
Eric was a history buff, so he liked to.
He knew it was haunted.
For sure he knew that shit.
So he tricked y'all to staying in a haunted ass hotel.
Honestly, I was 19 at the time. I was quite adventurous, so even if I knew it was haunted, I was okay because I was like, well,
Jen,
I have my
woman,
boyfriend
on the move.
and my best friend with me, so like, what could go wrong, you know?
Says
on the
every
move.
person in a horror movie.
Yeah.
It's super haunted, but what could go wrong?
This
This
is
is why I would
this-
die first.
This setup, it sounds like a horror story, by
Yeah.
the way. It sounds like a scary movie. It sounds like I'm with my gay best friend in San Francisco at a haunted hotel with my boyfriend. Nothing could go wrong.
Exactly.
And
We're
then
young
you
and
fuck,
dumb.
and then you die.
Yeah.
That's how horror movies work.
Girl, okay. Let me tell you guys. So he explains to us that the Fairmont Hotel is on the top of one of the highest hills in San Francisco.
That already sounds scary.
Yeah.
Mhm. And across from it, okay, you see the hotel? Across from it is this old-ass building on Nob Hill that's
Oh, yeah.
known for, like, I forgot what the building was, but it was used for, like, it was historical.
Yeah.
They used it for so many things. But the Fairmont itself, on the outside, it was also it wasn't as extravagant on the outside as it looked on the inside. And from
Yeah.
what I remember, the way the structure worked, the floor that we stayed on didn't even have a view. Because of the way the building was made,
That's strange.
we were on the floor where, like, we were basically, the view outside was basically, we saw, like, the back of the sign. The back of the hotel sign on the front.
Oh, okay.
That was the floor that we got. Okay. And the other thing is, the only other part of history that I knew about the Fairmont Hotel is the fact that it had burnt down and got rebuilt.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I just learned a random fact about the Fairmont. It was the first place that ever offered concierge service.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's that old.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's that old.
Wow. I wonder if that...
Right now, it is 113 years old.
I wonder if the Haunted Mansion, that ride from Disneyland, is based on the Fairmont. It might be.
I wonder too. We should look into that later.
Anyway.
Yeah, so we get in there, and at the time, when I was 19, I was very much into photography. I was exploring it. A lot of my friends really encouraged that. So it was an extracurricular hobby of mine. I was actually trying to pursue it at that time. So I took lots of beautiful pictures of that hotel. Because let me tell you, the inside of that hotel was extravagant as fuck. That lobby,
I bet.
lobby was beautiful. Everything was like, it's like the inside of a palace. Everything was gold. They had this giant ass, like, Baroque style, like, architecture. It was fancy as fuck.
Do you still have those pictures?
I will have to search for it. They might still be on my old Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
The one that I haven't touched in years. But no, I don't have access to any of those pictures anymore.
Oh, that sucks.
A, because I want to see it. B, was there spooky things that you did not know about that were in those pictures?
Oh, that'd be
Because,
interesting.
girl, yeah. Okay, actually, now that I think about it, I did know it was haunted because I chose not to look through those photos until after we got back to Vegas. So after the trip was over, I made that decision, that conscious decision not to look through the pictures until the trip was over. Because I was like,
so you were smart. You would have been the first dead, but you were smart.
Yeah, I wouldn't have died first, but I was smart.
Oh my goodness.
And yeah, I did capture things with those photos. So I do wish I still had that. But yeah, so that lobby was beautiful. We get our room. We get brought up to our room. When we arrived, I'm pretty sure it was like, I think it was in the middle of the night.
Ooh.
Even extra creepy.
Y'all were really trying to get killed.
In the face.
We arrived, put our stuff down, and then went out to explore it, and then probably came back. I don't remember how exactly, but this is what I remember. We already checked into the room. We go inside. We're done for the day. We're really tired. Mm-hmm. We go inside, and we're excited because we're staying at the Fairmont. Ooh, it's fancy as fuck. Right, we're in San Francisco. So we were, really excited. That was the only time we made, a little bit of noise about it, but we weren't doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
And then we just chill. So my ex and I at the time, we were looking through, whatever they had in the drawers, checking through their, little magazines and stuff. And so it was really quiet in the room for, maybe 10 minutes. And then we get a knock on the door. Mm-hmm. So, our friend Erich goes to answer the door, and someone from the concierge is like, yeah, we got a noise complaint from your room.
What? The fuck?
They're telling us that we gotta, keep it down because we got a noise complaint.
Literally, we just walked in here.
Yeah, we just got into the room. So we're like, okay, that was weird, but whatever, we'll keep it down.
That would have been, okay, maybe we shall leave.
Yeah, so, oh yeah, I didn't even describe how it looked, too. So, we took an elevator up to to our room, and there was a really long hallway. There was nothing spectacular, nothing too fancy about it. The hallway was empty. It seemed like if I remember correctly, I think it was in the middle of the night by the time we went to our room. So it was quiet. There was no one around. So that's also why we were weirded out. Because we were we went into the room and it was quiet. So why is there noise complaints? We go in the room.
Yeah, that's bizarre.
Mm-hmm. It's a big room. It's a fairly big room.
Right.
We have 2 beds. I believe they're both queen-size beds, maybe?
That makes sense.
They're both queen-size beds, and we have a TV, and then there's a desk over in the corner. And there was a weird thing about it. There was a desk over in the corner, but there was this random portrait there that was positioned in a really awkward spot above the desk. So I thought that was kind of weird. It kind of creeped me out, but
what kind
whatever.
of portrait what was the portrait of?
It was like an old school portrait, like old-fashioned portrait.
Like of a person?
person?
Or like a place?
I think it was a person. I'm not too sure.
I don't like old portraits of people.
I don't like old portraits of people either.
Like, especially, I mean, I do. Like, generally, I do, but like...
At a museum, not in a hotel.
Right, and not in a hotel. Like, not in a setting where I have to sleep in the room with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Was the portrait, like, facing the beds?
It was facing Eric's bed. Because we slept on the bed next to the door.
That's so creepy, because most portraits are not facing the beds. They're usually, like, behind the beds or, like, on the side.
That's why it's creepy.
It's creepy because it's facing
a bed.
Not only that, because it was in a really awkward position, like, above the desk. Because the desk was facing a certain way, and it wasn't facing in that same direction. It was just facing, like, towards the bed. I don't know. I just remember being creeped out because it was in a really awkward spot. I wish I really remembered. I'm sorry. My memory is really bad, but...
No, you're fine. That was when you were, like, 19.
Yeah, I'm trying to describe it as best as I can. Because,
No, that sounds scary.
Yeah.
like I said, I just don't like sleeping in rooms.
My spine is literally tingling as you tell the story.
Yeah.
This is just the beginning. I have so
This is just the beginning.
This is just the beginning. There were so many weird, really creepy occurrences. So that's why I consciously chose not to check my photos.
That is fair.
Do you remember taking a picture of the portrait?
No, I didn't. I didn't take any pictures inside the room specifically because it creeped me out too much. I took pictures in the hallway. I took pictures in the elevator. Yeah. And those 2 spots were... I had 2 photos specifically where it was, like, really, really, like, creepy. So, and I'll get to that. So, yeah, so that was another thing about it. We didn't spend a lot of time in our hotel room. We spent most of our time out and about. I don't think we drove. I don't think we had a car with us at that time, so we did a lot of walking. A lot of cab rides, because this was before Uber.
By the way, lifts in San Francisco are so expensive. I hate them.
Yeah, I bet.
Hate it.
When we went there, we spent at least $40 or more on, like, Lyft rides.
Yeah, a single Lyft ride. I saw my receipt. I spent $300 on lifts.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's
me. Per ride.
That's just me.
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Oh shit. Okay, I guess I better save up for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this was before Uber. So if we needed to get around, we took cabs. But for the most part, we did a lot of walking. And that hotel was not that far from Chinatown. Okay. So that's where we explored a lot.
I remember that's why I wanted to stay there. Because we were talking about going to Chinatown. That was one of the main reasons. It was
fun. Lots and lots of hills. I definitely did not have a problem gaining any weight during that trip.
I was
very, very active. But yeah, we did a lot of walking. And oh, yeah, I forgot to mention. So the lobby, when you walk in and you see the lobby, it was like I said, it was very ostentatious. Behind the lobby, you will see, because there's these big doors that leads to, like, the dining hall. There's a dining hall. And that's basically, I'm pretty sure that's where they had the restaurant or bar or whatever. Lots of tables spread across. And then in the middle, you see stairs that leads down.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So that's just how it looked. We never went into the dining hall to eat anything, but it was just very pretty. So that's how the hotel looked. So we explore Chinatown, blah, 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 just have some fun, come back. And throughout the trip, of course, I take pictures. I take a picture here or there inside the hotel room, but I take them more in the hallways and in the elevators. Just kind of like, I did take pictures of the hotel just to show how pretty it was. So, a few different things. I'll describe the photos to you guys. In the hallway, it's just, I guess with the way, it was pretty basic. You just go down the hallway and you have all the hotel doors like right next to each other. It's very, very classic. Nothing new or modern about it. In the hallway that we were in, where our room was at, there was a, it kind of like, when you got off the elevator, there was like, it kind of moved off to the side. So you kind of had to walk a little to the side and then down the hallway. So there was a corner next to the elevator. I took a couple pictures of both David and Erich in the hallway. So they were like posing. And when I look back at those photos, I saw that in one of the photos where it was
posing with them. I said a ghost was posing with them, just like, yo.
Yeah.
Doing
almost.
Doing their peace signs.
Almost, actually. It
Right.
It wasn't a ghost posing with them. There was a shadow of it was a silhouette of a figure in that corner. So it looked, when you look at the photo and you're like, okay, it looks like maybe someone was trying to someone was walking out from the hallway or the doorway or something. But the thing was, it was a whole corner. There was no doors there. There was no hallway there. So,
yikes.
But there could have been there before it burned down.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It looked like someone was walking from out of a room or off of a hallway, but it was right in the corner where it was just a wall there. And it was a silhouette right in the corner.
What?
And I was taking a picture of David and Erich just posing in the middle of the hallway. And you see it in the picture in the corner. So that's one of the photos.
I don't like this at all.
Wow.
There was another photo that I took in the elevator. So I took one in the elevator.
I'm like legit getting chills.
Yeah.
It was.
First off, I don't like
goosebumps.
elevators, and
Yeah.
now you're saying taking pictures in elevators.
No, yeah, no
Yeah,
way.
girl, this one definitely. I mean, out of all the experiences beside the one that I'm gonna tell you after this, that photo, I was just like, holy shit, because you could clearly see something in it. So, I was taking pictures of us in the elevator, and there was one, and I was just taking them randomly. And at the time, these are clear photos as well. I was using my DSLR at the time, because remember, I was doing a lot of photography.
Yeah.
So, I had my DSLR with me, and I was taking with that. I was taking a bunch of shots, and we had already arrived down in the lobby, and the elevator door was swinging open when I took these pictures. There was a mirror, like, you know how most elevators, they have mirrors in the elevator. So when you walk in, you just see us.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it wasn't the whole wall or anything, like how fancy it is here in Vegas. It was just a mirror, like, that was halfway. It was split halfway. I think. I don't know, actually.
No, because there's a lot of California hotels that are like the panel, like the wall paneling, and then the hotel, the mirror. Mm-hmm. So possibly,
yeah. So I think it was like that. Well, I'm standing in front of the door, the elevator door, and both Erich and David are just like standing there next to me, and I'm taking a picture of us in the mirror. So I'm taking a photo of us in the mirror.
Just trying to be autistic.
Autistic. Like, I took one of us when we went to... I had one of us in the mirror, in the elevator. Yeah, it was like that. But I was taking pictures and the elevator door slid open. Mm-hmm. So, okay, whatever. It was just us three, and we got out of the elevator and went along our way. When I looked at these photos later, this is back in Vegas after the trip was over, I look at these photos, and I look at the one in the elevator. And in the elevator one, the one where the elevator door was sliding open when I took the shot, you can clearly see a fucking man standing there.
I hate this.
In the middle. And you can see who it was. A white man, a balding white man, and he had on like a red like hotel outfit, like a bellhop outfit or something like that. You can clearly see that in the picture. But you can't...
Girl.
It doesn't show him all the way. It just shows like half of him.
Right.
Yeah.
So like... But you can see that it's a figure. It's a person on there.
He probably worked at the elevator. He was just trying to be helpful.
Yeah, he was probably a elevator operator.
Yeah, so he was probably
like
just
or something.
Think that it's just a normal day at work.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Because it blew my fucking mind. I was like, holy shit, like, you can see the visage. It's like, I tried to rationalize it. I was just like, okay, there was no one behind us. No one came onto the elevator after us.
Yeah, you said it's just the three of you.
I didn't capture anyone, like, standing behind the door or anything. And this was in the mirror as the door was swinging open, and I was like, none of us was wearing red or anything. That was the like clear indicator.
Creepy that
you actually saw
colors.
Yeah, we were wearing like
white balding men.
Yeah, we were wearing like black or white or something like that. There was nothing with color in it.
Yeah,
so I could see like the suit and everything.
And you could clearly see his face. Like you're looking at me right now.
You could see like his head.
Right.
You can't see his eyes or anything, but you could see like...
That's creepy.
It's like...
I gotta see these pictures.
Yeah.
I gotta see these pictures.
I'll look for them. I'll try to see if I can find them.
You should definitely post them on the Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, on the Venusian.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't have any creepy pictures, so...
But yeah, I should be like, oh, caption, this is part of our... For more detail about this photo...
I'll do that as soon as I find those pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah. You better start logging into everything you can't think of.
Girl, I might have to reactivate my old Facebook.
Yeah.
I mean, you can reactivate it and then just cancel.
That's the only place I could think of that where, like, I might have it saved.
MySpace?
I don't have access to my old MySpace anymore.
Yeah, me too.
Because I deleted mine. I deleted my old MySpace and I made a second one. So the new one doesn't have anything on it. The old one is... My dumbass, I don't know why I did that.
It's okay, it's a music site now anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, so that's the other photo.
For editing all that.
That one, like, really threw me off. I was just like, oh my god. Because in the other photo, the hallway one, it was just a silhouette.
Right, it was just a silhouette, yeah.
But in the elevator one, you can clearly see a person with, like, their outfit and everything. And it was just half of it.
Crazy.
It was, you know, half his body, and it was also half his, because it was like a Photoshop picture. It literally looked Photoshopped.
I don't like the story.
So,
I don't like this story
there's
either.
more.
I don't like your stories.
There's more. So,
I think I know about this next one you're about to tell me.
yeah, I think I've told you about this one.
Because I didn't know about these other ones, by the way, guys. Like, I didn't know about these other stories that she's telling us.
I didn't know about any of this.
But I know about this last one, and this last one's scary. You think that story is bad? This one's worse.
Everything's bad.
Go ahead, girl.
Okay, so...
I hate this. I hate it here.
Yeah, well, just don't say it at the Fairmont.
Yeah.
So we can say it, but we're not saying it at the Fairmont, just so you know.
My next story is about the Stanley Hotel, by the way, guys. Because I was in Denver, and of course, I went to the Stanley Hotel.
Haunted hotels.
I don't have any haunted hotel stories, but I do have one about the most haunted street in Vegas.
Okay,
Anyway.
I'm excited.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, I'll finish this off. There was no other really, like, creepy things that happened with the exception of the last experience I had there, because this literally happened. This happened after we checked out of the hotel already.
So you're like, if I check out, nothing will come at me.
They're like, bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I thought I was safe, but...
But you thought.
Did you die?
Oh, side note, they were... Okay, have you ever, like, watched scary movies with your friends and then everyone ended up passing out and you were, like,
the last one?
That happened then, too. Like, they...
Wait, what? You watching scary movies at a haunted hotel?
Yeah.
You're asking for things to happen.
I know.
You manifested this old shit to you.
I wasn't.
No, you invited them in.
You're like, try me, bitches. Try
No,
me.
it was fucking Erich. Erich was aiming that shit.
I'm
on
here
me.
to
He knew that place was
fuck.
haunted.
He
I'm
believe
coming
that.
here late
That's
at
why.
night.
Well, yes, and you know how mischievous he is.
Yeah, yeah.
That's how he was. He liked that shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, he just one night we had finished our day. We went back to the room to sleep and stuff, and Eric was like, "Oh, let's put on a movie." And then he decided he wanted to put on a scary movie. He's like, "Have you seen this one?" And it was what movie was it? It was a pretty big one. Fuck, what was it called? It was about reflections. It was about mirrors or something.
Oculus.
No, it wasn't Oculus.
Okay.
But I have seen Oculus.
Or scary movies that came out before 2009.
Yeah, because
What? It was about mirrors?
yeah, it was about mirrors. I'm pretty sure you guys may have seen it because it's so old. I guess a dude, the father got trapped, like, in the mirror world.
Insidious?
What's her face? Christy Carlson Romano was in it.
Crystal Carlson Romano's in a scary movie?
And you got to see her naked at the beginning of the movie. I remember that.
What?
Mm-hmm. Shit, what movie was that?
I'm looking it up.
People who watch scary movies are yelling at us.
I know, they are yelling at us.
I
I'm
know
sorry.
that.
I've seen, like, almost everything,
we're
so I
old,
don't
okay?
remember the names.
Also, in my defense, I didn't really watch scary movies until my adult life. I'm still trying to catch up in the classics. So,
Yeah, so while they're looking that up, I'll continue. So, yeah, Eric was like, oh, let's just put this on, because I hadn't seen it. So he was like, okay, let's put it on. So he puts it on, and both of them pass out.
Wow.
They both pass out, and my scared ass is just laying in bed, like, watching the movie, and then trying to go to sleep afterwards. Obviously, I watched the whole thing, because I wanted to watch the movie. But afterwards, I didn't do anything.
By the way, Christy Carlson Romano is really pretty.
She is gorgeous.
And you know what it's called?
Mirrors.
And we're so dumb. It's called fucking Mirrors,
Yeah.
too. Guys, we're so stupid.
yeah.
See, I knew it. It was mirrors. It was mirrors.
Also, just throwing that out there, Christy Carlson Romano has a YouTube channel, and she has, like, all these old school, like, Disney people come to her show. It's a cooking channel.
It's a what?
A cooking channel, and it's fucking fantastic.
It's a what? I'm about to follow this
cookie?
right now.
Uh-huh. And, like, her husband sometimes there, and he is a handsome fellow.
Aww.
I am...
Oh,
We're
yeah.
gonna have an episode about cooking and stuff, but, like, I'm a huge cooking fan. Like,
Yeah.
bitch. Disney and
Super
cooking?
cute.
Disney and cooking?
I love that.
Yes.
That's my jam.
I'll send you her link.
Please,
Yeah.
thank you.
We stand the classic Disney stars.
We do.
We do.
Hilary
And they
Duff. Shout out to Hilary Duff.
If you want to come to our podcast.
Right?
But yeah. So, anyways, that was a side note.
We're always inviting Bailey Sarian to our podcast,
Yeah.
please.
maybe when we do our true crime episode.
Yes.
Christina and Emily from And That's Why We Drink podcasts. Woo!
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyways, okay. So moving on. So after all that shit had happened, I was really excited to like leave the hotel. So last day we stayed there. We checked out of the hotel. And we're like, okay, let's go explore some more because we had a bit of time. Let's go explore some more before our flight, before we head to the airport. We had already checked out, so we couldn't, we didn't have a place to put our stuff, so we carried it with us. We brought all of our stuff with us and carried it.
Oh, sweetheart, you could have just left it at the bell desk.
He just left at the front desk.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you do that?
As long
Yeah.
as you stay there before you could leave your bags there.
Yeah.
As long as you what?
Like, if you stayed at that hotel.
Yeah. So you stayed at the whole time, be like, hey, can I leave my bags here?
Yeah, they'll be like, okay, and it's free.
We've worked the front desk.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I still have people.
Well, damn! I spent all that time holding. What was I even holding? I probably wasn't even carrying anything. I probably made my boyfriend did it.
Oh yeah, I don't think a lot of people know that actually.
So if you guys take our advice,
yeah, we work in concierge
and front desk places.
Okay, so even if you've already checked out, you can still
you can
leave
still
your things
Or
there.
if you haven't checked in yet and you're staying at the hotel, you could drop your bags there.
Yeah, be like, I'll be right back.
Yeah.
And I check.
Or if you're watching a show anywhere and like security tells you can't bring something in, just check it in Valdez and then you can pick it up after the show.
Oh,
Yep.
okay, cool. That's
No,
awesome.
little ins and out of staying at a hotel.
All right, Venusian travelers. There
Venusian
you go.
travelers.
When it's safe to travel again, of course.
Yeah.
Venusian using tips.
VM tips.
So we ended up carrying our shit with us, and of course, like I said, we didn't have a car either. So we spent some time walking around Chinatown or whatever, climbing up all those San Francisco hills. At the end of the day, we were tired as fuck, and we needed to go to the bathroom. So we were like, well, the hotel's right there. Let's just use the restrooms before we go. We decide to go through a different entrance. We went through a side entrance of the hotel because it was still the hotel, and we saw the building, so we were like, oh.
You guys were asking for death.
Not
Not going through the regular entrance, going through a side entrance.
It was there. We were tired. I had just climbed a fucking hill. I'm like, okay, let's go. I need to
feel
go to the
that energy
bathroom.
though.
So we go in there.
If I die, I die.
Right?
And let me tell you, remember how I was describing the lobby as so fucking fancy and grandeur?
Yeah.
Well, we went through a side entrance, and it was literally a blank, white, stark hallway.
Well, it's probably an employee entrance, which are always creepy in hotels.
So it was definitely a big difference from the lobby to that, because not even yeah, you're right, it's probably the employee area, because it was all it was white, a long white hallway, kind of like what you would see in the hospital.
Yeah.
That's still kind of spooky in the sense of putting in there in a already haunted hotel.
So in most Vegas hotels, that's pretty much what the back area looks like.
I know, but still.
But but I remember it being completely blank and white. At least in the Vegas in the rooms, in the hallways in the Vegas hotels, there's still some color here and there. There's
I can't shout out. I can't, can't call out any hotels right now, but.
Oh, okay. So there was some boring hotel hallways.
Or it's where they store the dead bodies.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun.
It had creepy vibes, hella, while we were walking through. So we follow the hallway down, and we're like, where's the bathroom? And we see the signs for the bathroom. So we're like, okay, there we go. Let's go. We go there, and the bathrooms were next to a staircase.
Uh-huh.
So we set our stuff down at the staircase. As we were settling our stuff down, we saw a woman that was walking down the hallway, heading to the bathroom. This woman was wearing I remember specifically, she was wearing a beige-ish suit with a pencil skirt. And it was an older woman with gray hair, I think. That's all I remember. I didn't remember her face. But I just remember she was walking to the bathroom. So we set our stuff down, and we're like, okay, let's go to the bathroom. We take turns because we needed someone to watch our stuff. So both Eric and I go to the bathroom first, and David stayed and watched our stuff at the end of the staircase. I go into the bathroom, and when you first go in there, I walk into a powder room. So it's literally just a little seating area. Mm-hmm. There was carpet, there were couches, and everything. It was an actual powder room.
Men that have never been to a woman's restroom, that's a real thing. It's literally a powder room.
But only in fancy places.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm, only in fancy places. That's what it looked like. So I go through the powder room, no one in there, and then I go into the bathroom. And what I see is basically... The bathroom was separated very specifically it was the powder room, and then the room with all the sinks. There was all these sinks lined.
That's a really
down.
fancy bathroom.
Lying down, each sink had mirrors of their own.
Wow.
But these were old school sinks. They were the handle sinks.
Okay.
They weren't automatic.
Yeah.
So, again, it's empty. And then I go to the next room, and that's where all the stalls were, the toilet stalls. And again, the stalls were separated. They weren't like actual individual rooms, but they were all separated stalls. And I'm waiting there because I feel like this is where I felt a shift in energy for myself. This is when I start feeling shit. I'm just like, okay, there's no one in here, but I feel like there's people in here. I felt like all the stalls were taken, or I was just too scared to go into the stalls. Something did not sit right with me. I just felt off.
Wow.
I felt off. I was too scared to go to any of the stalls. I was frozen. I just stood there next to the sinks. And then I hear one of the sinks behind me go off.
Nope.
Yeah. And they weren't like automatic sinks.
They weren't automatic
sinks.
sinks. They were the turning ones. So my dumb ass was just standing there for a second. I hear the sink go off, and I'm like, okay, I'm very uncomfortable, so I leave the bathroom.
That's fair.
I leave the bathroom. I'm like, fuck it. I'm not gonna, there's something weird. I leave the bathroom. I'm just like, I don't say anything. I meet David and Erich at the stairs, and I don't say anything to them. It's like, I couldn't use can we go to a different bathroom? Because the other ones were full. That's what it felt like to me. I was just like, I don't know. There was something off. I was like, I didn't use the bathroom. I'm going to use a different bathroom.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out that staircase we were at was the same staircase from the dining hall. So we go up the staircase, and it takes us back to the dining hall, to the lobby. So it was, again, you had the grandeur of the lobby and the dining hall, and then you go down that staircase, and you have just that blank white hallway.
Mm-hmm.
And then that creepy-ass bathroom.
And the creepy-ass bathroom. It was weird.
The creepy old lady, because old women are creepy.
It was super weird that it was set up like that.
Yeah.
It was just really weird.
Yeah.
So, we go...
The bathroom is probably part of the old structure, and they just left it.
Probably, because you know what? When I go to the other... We go through the hallway, I go to the other bathroom, the one that's like... where the lobby is, open to the public. That bathroom was popping. There was a whole bunch of people coming in and out.
See, that's weird.
And it wasn't just like
It didn't say employees only on the bathroom or anything like that.
It didn't.
See,
it didn't say employees only.
Well, I mean, but also it doesn't say employees bathroom well, at least the hotels I went, it doesn't say employees bathroom. It just says men or
but
women.
like that's specific. That powder room thing, the whole like setup of the sinks and the stalls. That bathroom is old.
Yeah, because especially if there was stairs leading down to it, and like that fire or whatever happened, it probably happened at the top, not the bottom.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they probably kept it.
Yeah, they probably kept it.
There was a clear difference too in both of the bathrooms.
Yeah.
The bathroom upstairs next to the lobby
Was updated, I bet.
It was updated, yeah. It was fancier.
Right.
It was fancier. There was still a powder room and everything, but it was busy. There was people coming in and out. There was a whole bunch of, I heard people talking and shit. I saw, like, people coming in and out, like women talking and stuff. And the bathrooms, the stalls, they weren't stalls this time. They were actually, like, their own rooms, kind of like what you would find in the fancy hotel bathrooms.
Right.
So I was like, okay. So I go in, I do my business, come out. At this point, we're ready to leave. So we get a cab and we go to the airport, and it was just a quiet cab ride to the airport.
Because something happened to
Very
them too.
It was very quiet ride to the airport. And I was just like, so those bathrooms were weird. And they were like, yeah.
And that's all they said?
Yeah, because we didn't talk about it until we got to Vegas.
What
So then what did they say?
Vegas?
Because, okay, so it was quiet, but they agreed with me. They were like, yeah, the bathrooms were weird. They were like, they felt off about it. These motherfuckers didn't bother to tell me what even happened to them until we got back to Vegas. But I'm kind of glad. That would have just, if I had known that, like, then and there, then I would have just been freaked the fuck out the entire ride back.
Yeah.
So
more freaked out.
Yeah, exactly. So we get back to Vegas, of course, after we recollect our trip, we look through the pictures and stuff, and then they finally tell me, they finally have the audacity to tell me that they fucking saw that same woman go into the bathroom again after I had already gone in. They saw that woman walk by again.
Repeat her steps.
Mm-hmm.
Out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm. And that woman was a real woman when I saw her in person. She didn't look like a ghost or anything. She wasn't just some figure floating around. It was a whole ass woman walking into the bathroom. Or so I thought.
Dun dun dun!
Maybe she didn't walk into the bathroom. Maybe
she didn't.
Was just walking by.
Yeah.
Or that was her destination while she was alive.
Yeah, because some ghosts, they just repeat the same actions they did before they die.
Yeah. Ghosts repeat the same actions. If you see a haunting, it's usually they doing the same thing over again. Mm-hmm. Which is bizarre.
Maybe she was the one. Maybe she was in the bathroom with me, and she was the one that turned on the.
Maybe she died in the bathroom, which is very unfortunate.
Maybe that's why I got that uncomfortable feeling.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to die. Like, that's like a really terrible
like there's a fire, death, you burn alive in the bathroom. Or washing hands, because you also said
smoking inhalation, yeah. Which is how people die.
That's probably why I had such an uncomfortable feeling in that bathroom. Like, I cannot even describe it. I was frozen. I stood there for a good minute. Like, just standing there not doing anything because I was so uncomfortable.
I can only imagine if you actually went inside a stall and you see that woman in the same stall.
Oh my god, I'm so glad I didn't go into any of the stalls. Something told me not to. Something told me not to go into the stalls because I was like, why do I feel like I can tell that this bathroom is empty. There's no one here. I can't hear anything.
It was a fight or flight response.
Yeah, I was like, I felt like I couldn't go into any of the stalls. I was like, why do I feel like it's like those stalls are occupied?
That's so.
I don't like this.
Creepy hotels, dude. Let me tell you, I was invited to go with my ex and his mother to the Stanley Hotel in Denver, Colorado. It's not Denver, Colorado, but
Excuse me.
Huh?
Sorry, I burped.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay.
Excuse me.
Excuse me. I think you had a question.
Excuse me, what's a Stanley Hotel?
Well, the Stanley Hotel is the hotel that's based off The Shining.
What's The Shining?
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Wait, did you not know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So when we got there, I knew that, of course. Like, that was the reason why we went.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's the only reason why you go to the hotel now.
Well, I mean, okay, so, like, where it's at, it's really beautiful. It's in Estes Park, Colorado, and that's where Denver National Park is. Mm-hmm. So it's obviously really pretty, and there's a lot of, like, nature sites, and, like, it's like the most beautiful place in Colorado to me that I've ever been to, besides Vail. But, so we're driving through Estes Park, we're having a good time, and then we're like, let's go to the Stanley. And the Stanley is like, it's even put, the way the hotel is even put, like, built, it's like in an off setting. Like, it's like, oh, this pretty land, lush and stuff, and then you have this giant hotel. It's just really oddly put. Uh-huh. So it's just like, you see it going over the hill.
It's like out in the middle of nowhere, basically.
It is out in the middle of nowhere. So that was true in the movie. The only thing that was different that it wasn't on a hill. Like in the movie, it's on a hill, but you can see it going off the hill.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like on the horizon.
Wait, isn't it like in the movie it's the bottom of the hill? Or at least in Dr. Sleep, it looked like it was in the bottom of the hill.
I thought it was on top of the hill.
Because, at least from what I remember from Dr. Sleep, it was like the mountain, and then like there's a road that goes down.
Okay, well...
Yeah, because the mountains were top and it was like down here.
Well...
Yeah, anyways, besides the point.
In real life, you drive down the hill and you see the hotel. Yeah. So, it's a beautiful state. It is like I said, it's in nature, like... But even like they had like this dining area, this bar, and it's like, has like hanging succulents and flowers, and it's really well put together. It's really beautiful. So, we're walking through. We go to the gift shop. Of course, I get a wine glass that says red rum on it. They really milk on the whole shining thing.
Yeah,
It's so funny.
I mean, that's their moneymaker now.
Yeah. It's awesome. So, the only time I felt anything weird was when you're in the lobby, like you're in the check-in. So it is as grand as you see it in the movie. It's as grand as it is in real life. Mm-hmm. So they have a staircase that cascades, and it goes like from like da-da-da-da, and in the middle of it, it's a platform. I will never forget this. It's really busy. People stay there all the time. And it's for the novelty. The rooms are actually haunted. Mm-hmm. They do like a tour there, so you can visit like the most haunted places in the hotel.
We should do ghost tours.
So I'm about to get.
Giving me that look.
I'm about to get to something because I went on my own tour, which I shouldn't have done that by myself.
Super exclusive tour.
I snuck away. I snuck into an area where
he wanted the VIP tour.
I wanted to do my own ghost hunting adventure by myself because my ex was too scared to go down there with me. But anyway, so when I'm in the lobby though, that's when you feel a shift. You can tell that the pressure gets heavier and you're like, something's weird going on. So everyone's like, it's like I said, it's busy and stuff. But like in the middle of it, all that busyness, you just see a man in like a business suit just standing on that platform I described on the staircase, just standing there, just like looking.
Okay.
And he's like this older white guy, a black suit, tie. And I would never forget, like he was just so oddly put there. And he looked like a dude. He was just a solid guy, just standing there, just like looking, like not even looking at anything but looking. You know what I mean? Like it was just he was staring, but not staring at you. He was like staring out into the ether or something.
Because he probably was staring out to the ether.
Yeah. And I was like, that's strange. And I just walked away. And I mentioned it. I think I had heard someone say, "Oh yeah, did you see that guy?" Mm-hmm. They're like, "Yeah." I mean, the lobby is one of the most haunted places in the hotel. I was like, I did not know that. Why did
that makes sense now?
Yeah, I was like, what? So yeah, I straight up just saw a ghost like just standing there, and everyone's just walking past him because he probably thought it was some guy.
Oh wait, so you guys all thought it was just like a regular?
Yeah, he was just standing there, and he wasn't standing. He wasn't a person.
Creepy.
Yeah. So, right? So, like I said, there's a group tour, and my dumbass, they sees the basement area. I'm like, zoink, guys. Let's go looking for clues.
But you just say that to yourself.
I think I did say jinkies. There might have been a jinkies thrown in there.
That's the only thing you do say at a haunted place. Yeah. Jinkies, guys.
Jinkies, guys. Let's go look for clues.
Y'all were giving me shit for staying in a haunted hotel, but this dude,
this guy
right here was ghost hunting.
I was looking
really
for
wanted to ghost hunt. He knew what he was getting himself into.
I wanted it. I was like, come at me, ghost. I'm here.
Yeah. You were like, this place might be haunted. Oh, yeah.
You got surprise haunted.
Yeah.
I was asking for it.
Yeah.
So I see that. It's like literally like a cellar door kind of thing, and it's like near an exit, but like it's so weird to describe. It's super old looking. It's like stone walled door. Go inside, black, and it's stone wall. Aaron didn't want to go in with me. I remember that. I do remember that specifically. He said no.
Because he's a smart man. He's watched a lot of scary movies.
Yeah, well, he doesn't even like scary movies, so that's
probably why.
That's why.
Because he knows better.
Yeah.
You, being the black guy in the scary movies, like, hey, let me be the first one dead.
Right? I wouldn't even complain about it. I'd be like, yep, I asked for it.
That's why I can't stay in a haunted place with you. You're both going to try to get me killed.
Well, you know. It's just a bunch of hocus pocus.
It's just a bunch of hocus pocus.
So I go down to the cellar thing, and it's dark, spooky, dank. You can feel that you're not supposed to be there. Like not even just like I shouldn't have been down there because there was a sign to wait for the group. No, I shouldn't have been down there. Because when I went down there, okay. It's hard for me to talk about it because it was actually one of the most scariest things I've ever experienced my entire life, and I've had out of body experiences that were less scary than this. I saw a shadow run across, like literally run across, like a silhouette run across.
Oh hell no!
Run, like I mean, like to like
Naruto running.
Like I mean, like running to like. You're about to chase the elote man run. Like, like that kind of run, like fast, like.
This was in the basement?
This is in the basement.
Of course, there you went to the basement.
By himself, off the beaten path.
I went by myself, yeah. Aaron didn't want to go, and of course I was going to ask Aaron's mom to go down there.
That is asking to die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He asked to die, you just willingly accepted death.
So I was like, bet. Nope.
Never mind.
As soon as I was like, I'm not venturing further than this.
Yeah.
Bye.
I'm not the strong, independent woman I thought I was.
No, I'm the smart, independent woman. I was smart-ish. Like, yeah, I did go down there and ask for that. But, like, yeah, other than that, that was my spooky story about the Stanley. Besides, like, it's a beautiful estate, and you guys should definitely check it out, SS Park, and check out the hotel. Maybe not, like, try to do your own spooky tour.
Don't go out the beaten path in a group tour.
Yeah, and I was going to stay there, but it's pretty damn expensive to stay there at night. I think it's like $300 a night. Yeah, but it's actually haunted. I think because me and Chelsea were talking about this, the haunted rooms are like, I think it's like $100 a night to stay there, like a normal room, but the actual haunted rooms are like $300 a night. So I still want to stay there. Besides the creepy experiences I've had, and I really think it's a beautiful estate. It just don't go there in the winter because we'll probably be stuck up there because the roads are really bad.
Well, who knows? Maybe the Venusian Musings podcast cast might do some haunted ghost tours.
I'm down.
Ghost adventures.
We have our own haunted ghost stuff in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
And Pika has a story of the most haunted street in Vegas.
I do, which is a very popular street, ironically. It's Blue Diamond.
What?
Blue Diamond?
Blue Diamond is the most haunted street in Las Vegas.
I
don't know if y'all knew this.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You know what? It makes sense. It makes a lot of sense because part of Blue Diamond used to be like a highway.
Yeah, Blue Diamond's old as crap.
Mm-hmm.
Continue.
That makes a lot of sense.
That's interesting.
Tell us.
So one night, late at night, when I used to live with my sister, it was definitely after midnight, I remember. So I was either getting off work late from working downtown because we got off like at 1 or 2 a.m. or it was from hanging out at Brugada. I was driving by myself. I was slightly tired, but like still had energy to drive because don't drive while you're sleeping. So I was driving. I was pretty much the only car in the road. And I was kind of like by where the rocks were. And I saw a man on the road. So I hit my brakes because
A man standing there in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
Pika!
Yeah, so I slammed my brakes because I was like, oh, I'm about to kill this motherfucker.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You've never told me this.
I know. Ha ha ha. Because I knew we were going to have a podcast. No, I don't know.
She saw the future. She's using divination tools.
I guess that's a Raven did. Yeah. So there's this guy. I slammed the brakes because I was about to hit a guy, and I closed my eyes because I was like, well, this guy's going to sue me for killing him.
Oh my god!
So
Manslaughter is fun.
It is. I was like, okay, maybe I'll apologize really bad. I'll be like, late at night, you're wearing all black. Obviously, I'm so sorry.
So, what? Do you remember what he looked like exactly?
He was tall, about like 6 foot.
Uh-huh.
He was wearing like a long jacket, like kind of baggy pants.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Was he old, young?
was like mid, like I want to say late 30s, 40s.
Okay.
Sounds creepy AF.
It's creepy. Yeah.
And so obviously there was no one there after you.
After I like opened my eyes and literally stopped my car, yeah.
Wow.
And then I was like, cool, and then just kept driving.
That is creepy.
Yeah, because I stopped, I looked back, and I was like, there was no thud.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Justin, I thought I was about to kill a man. I was like, I'm going to jail tonight.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
So you standing in the middle of the road?
In the middle of the road.
Oh, and you stopped?
I stopped, because I was like, okay. Also, mind you, where I was driving, there was no streetlights either.
Oh, that part of Blue Diamond.
That part, the creepy ass part of Blue Diamond, yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
That's scary.
I never even know that.
Yeah.
I would have been scared, thinking I might have picked someone up.
And I'm just worried that I was gonna kill someone.
Yeah, because what?
Yeah.
I don't have no words for that. That is actually very scary.
It was.
Because the idea of like you almost killing someone and then like, hey,
no one's here. But also, thank God no one's here. But also, what the fuck?
You had a I know what you did last summer moment.
Yeah.
Basically.
Pretty much. What are you waiting for?
Shout out to Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Come on our podcast.
Sarah Michelle Gellar?
Hello.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Yeah, that's creepy.
And I thought I heard all your ghost stories. Apparently, I don't know you guys at all.
No, yeah. I have many more, but we can save those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is time for my tarot card of the week.
Tarot card of the week.
So today, I pulled the King of Pentacles. That is a stark difference from the card last week, which was...
the Nine of Swords. Okay.
Reverse. And that's what me and Janet referred to as the Nightmare card.
Yeah.
Literally the Nightmare card. This is the polar opposite. Let me tell you, honey.
Which, ironically, last week was not that great of a week.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that.
So let's talk about how last week was like one of the worst weeks ever. Like, I unfortunately had someone that I knew pass away. Was very close to me.
Actually, that night that you pulled the card. Did you not realize that?
Holy effing! What? That was that same fucking night.
Yeah, because it was Sunday.
That was the same night.
I just had to leave. Yeah, so someone I knew passed away that night. The night I pulled the Nine of Swords reversed. Actually, the Nightmare card.
It was crazy. It was crazy because I remember receiving that text from Day when it happened, and I had left the TV on and passed out. I left the TV on playing and passed out, and I woke up suddenly because my TV turned off. My TV turned off, and I woke up. I go to the bathroom and I look at my phone, and I get a text from Day saying that basically that person passed away.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize that, and this is what I mean, guys. This stuff is real. This isn't for the faint of heart. And it was actually a nightmare. All last week was a nightmare, even continuing on to this week. So, yeah, guys.
It hasn't been fun.
No.
But this is high hopes.
These are high hopes. Things are turning around. So the sorry.
Sorry. Do you need a moment?
Yeah, okay. I mean, like, I can get through it. Okay. The King of Pentacles is the description is he's a king. He's sitting on a throne, and pentacles usually have to do with money always. And He's sitting pretty, isn't he? He got his little goat in the background.
Mhm.
He got
That's the ultimate, like, you got money, you got a goat.
That's Big Daddy card.
that's a big daddy.
Only big daddies got goats.
Right. He's sitting on his empire of money and wealth and
goats.
That's a Capricorn card. That's a big Daddy Saturn card.
Yeah, that's it actually is. It's the astrological sign of Taurus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Taurus too. Yes.
Yeah.
Taurus can be a king.
Yes, he can
Taurus
be.
can be kings too.
Mm-hmm.
We could all be kings, actually.
We'll all be kings. Yeah.
Just some more than others.
Right, exactly. So, obviously, it's about abundance and bettering someone. Not only just having the abundance, but having that financial fortitude to keep that abundance. So, he's like, not only the king in the sense that he's like, I got my money. He's like, bitch, I can keep that money and then double that money. It shows leadership. It shows discipline. It shows security. You're sitting pretty this week.
So, being big boss moves.
We're making money moves with this card. So yeah, that's a stark difference from last week. And yeah, I did not realize that last week's card was corresponding with my friend's father passing. That's crazy. But that has been the tarot card of the week.
Tarot card of the week.
Awesome. Wow. I mean, it's a pretty good night of some ghost stories.
Ghost
Ghost
stories.
goose.
Oh yeah, of course. So of course, we had to start off October with our Boo-tober with scary stories.
Of course. Boo.
We wanted to start it off with Randonautica, but of course, as Pika said earlier,
Life happens.
Life happens.
Yeah.
life happens. So we had to kind of move it on to the next week. But
We're doing it next week. We are going to do it. And the interesting thing about this before we start our episode next week, Randonautica is actually down, the app itself. So there's another app that we can use to do it.
okay.
It's just the same thing. It's the same search engine. And actually, I just got a Reddit post saying that they're switching over. So maybe it'll be up by the time we do our podcast.
Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
We'll keep you updated.
stay tuned for our Randonautica presented by us, the Darlings of
The
Venus.
Darlings of Venus.
Yay.
But you could email us at our emails. I don't know them at heart.
It's darlingsofvenusia@gmail.com. Feel free to contact us at on our social media or our email. We on our Instagram, our @ is Darlings of Venus. We now have a Twitter. The @ is it's Darlings Venusia, I think, because I think someone took Darlings of Venus. Let me.
On Twitter, yeah. It's Darlings of Venusia. Because
So-
someone stole our Darlings of Venus. So if you're
Our-
listening, you better take that back.
Yeah. Whoever
We
took
see
our
you.
give it back. So our @ on Twitter is Darlings Venusia. Feel free to let us know if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns.
And my personal @ is at your friendly head Witch Bitch.
Witch,
On-
bitch.
Witch Bitch. On Twitter and Instagram. So
And I am at Stepix on Instagram and @Stepix_ on Twitter.
Yep, and you can reach me at Luxurious, that's LUXURIAS, on Instagram. Thank you for listening. If you guys have any scary, spooky stories that you want to share or any commentary,
Keep it to yourself. No, just kidding.
just, let us know. What do you think about our episode? If you have any ideas for our next episode.
If you want to give us some feedback.
yeah.
Let us know. It's still kind of a new thing for us. We're still testing the waters.
We're still learning. I know our audio, like the past couple of podcasts, weren't the best, but we're working on it.
We're
Yeah.
working on it.
Yeah, exactly.
We're working on it. Help us get a mic. Help us get a new mic.
Our Patreon will make one soon, probably.
We'll make one probably, yeah. Anyways, thanks for listening. Thanks for your support.
Thank you guys.
Stay safe, make good choices.
And get better idols.
And get
and get better idols.
Shout out to Bailey
Love you.
Spooky music. Jeepers, creepers. Where'd you get those creepers? Jeepers, creepers. Where'd you get them eyes?
I'm in a podcast with a couple of dorks. The creepiest of the spookiest of dorks.